What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down 3 tips for wide receivers to catch every pass thrown their way. So we're going to be talking about how you guys can make those tough catches. You know, those balls where you got to jump over the middle where it's a scary catch, you might get cracked. And then we're going to be talking about how you guys can catch every single ball when it's a throw behind you in traffic. And then we're going to talk about that over-the-shoulder catch that everybody loves. So I hope this video helps you guys out. Hope it teaches you a few new things. But also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver or a quarterback and you want to get some work in with us this offseason, I'm sure you've heard about it. We are traveling out to 4 more states for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver training camp. So next up on our camp tour, we're going to be coming out to Dallas, Texas next weekend. Then we're coming out to Nashville, Tennessee, Salt Lake City, Utah, and then Los Angeles, California. So fellas, this is a lot of work. It's going to be 8 hours of training total over the weekend. So you guys are absolutely going to get better, and that's what this camp is for. It's going to be a small group atmosphere, not a million kids out there. So check out that very first link below if you want some more information on that. Let's get started. So first things first, when you guys are catching, whether it is routes versus air, whether it is a situation in practice where you can think about the catch, you have to find a trigger phrase that is going to help you guys with catching the ball, essentially, right? So this is a clip from Justin Jefferson. He's running like this kind of post route off of a rocker step over the middle, and that ball is thrown high. So everybody asks about, the tough catches, right? Obviously, everybody knows, everybody's heard the phrase, hey, you want to keep your eye on the ball. Hey, you want to look it in. Hey, you want to catch in the diamond. But there's something that you need to be saying to yourself on repeat that needs to help you with the hand-eye coordination part of it. Because listen, we get a lot of questions like, hey, I dropped this pass, maybe I'm in my head a little bit. I'm dropping this pass where I've never dropped it before. And it all comes down, and I will always give the same answer, and that is your eyes, fellas. If you guys can look the ball all the way in and you have a relatively strong grip, you don't even need the strongest grip in the world, you will catch the ball. It's just about being consistent with your eyes. So when this ball is thrown to Jefferson here, you see how he looks that thing all the way in. It's not like he's catching it and he sees the ball, like the ball hits his hands, but his eyes are looking forward. The only thing in his line of sight is that football, and that is what I'm trying to get you guys to do. So there's a couple different phrases that I like to say. One of them is that you want to pretend your eyes are a camera and you're trying to take a picture of the ball. So bam, that's that picture frame right there. He's snapping that photo of that football. Because in a game scenario, when you got guys around you and you're running a route, you're worried about the coverage, the play, all that stuff. You can't be thinking about your hands. It's got to be a natural automated habit. And how we build automated habits is by repetition. Now, another one that I like to say is, hey, you want to see the football hit your hands. If that process is for you, that's fine. Everybody's different. Then one other thing, when you're playing in like high school ball, youth ball, when that white stripe is on the football, I've heard you want to focus on the stripe. So whenever that ball hits your hands, you want to try to locate the stripe on the ball. In the NFL, obviously, you can't do that. But it's just finding that trigger phrase, fellas. When your routes versus air, catching with somebody, throwing the ball up in the air to yourself, focus on that trigger phrase because that's how you can build an automated habit. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Then we'll talk about how you guys can make tough catches when it is in traffic. So now, next thing here, when we run this route and we're running like when we're running a post route over the middle, the ball's thrown behind, whatever it might be, and it's thrown late or it's thrown in traffic, you got to be late with your hands. So what does that exactly mean? So when he's running this route and he comes over the middle here, ball is thrown behind him in traffic. So it is a great example, this play, of why you want to be late over the middle. Because a DB is not like we get a question. I've gotten questions before, and I'm not a DB guy. I don't pretend to be a DB guy. I'm an offensive-minded guy. But when they ask, DBs ask, hey, when should I go to play the ball? Or if that ball's thrown over the shoulder, that ball's thrown over the middle, I'm in man coverage. When should I play the ball? And they're taught to play your hands. So as soon as they see, maybe your eyes get real wide, your hands start to show, that's when they play those hands. And, you have to learn the hard way as a beginner receiver. I definitely did. When you're coming over the middle and you see that ball thrown in front of you and you start to show your hands because you've been taught since you were, maybe 5 years old, hey, go meet the ball with your hands and go extend out. Don't wait for it to get into your frame. But that DB is going to play those hands because he's not looking for that ball when it's man. He's playing you. So those hands go out. He's playing those hands, going to try to rip that thing out. So you have to make sure we are late with my hands. I'm not saying let the ball bounce off of your chest plate. I'm not even saying catch it with your body. I'm just saying be late. Because when you're late, it gives the DB less time to react. less time to see when that ball is coming and less time to see when that ball is in your hands. So make sure, fellas, over the middle, even if it's not behind you, it's in traffic, it's a tough catch, be late with those hands, trust those eyes to make that catch, and finish. Now, maybe when you guys are training, because again, we can't think about this kind of thing when I'm in an actual game. When you're training, you're throwing routes versus air with the quarterback. Let's say quarterback's here, you're running like digs, you're running posts, you're running curls. I would try to be as late as possible with my hands on anything over the middle, because chances are you're going to be sitting in traffic, you're going to be sitting in a throwing lane, whatever it might be. But to build that habit of being late, so it's an automated thing in a game when you're doing that with your quarterback, routes versus air, we should emphasize that. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Lockett finishing with this catch, being late with those hands so that DB has no time to react. So now, next catch, this is kind of like a jump ball over the shoulder catch. Now, I'm not saying this is the only way to catch an over-the-shoulder pass, or like an underthrown pass for that matter, when you have to jump for it. I think if he would have gone up and maybe high-pointed this thing and flipped his hands, that would be totally fine. There's no perfect way to do this type of catch that I'm showing. But the other main reason I want to show you this is that when it comes down to an over-the-shoulder catch, you also want to be late with your hands. And the reason why is so the DB doesn't have time to play it, just like if it was over the middle and we were catching in traffic. When it's over the shoulder and that DB's back is turned, he's playing you. He ain't playing the ball. He's not going to run 50 yards downfield and then try to look back for this thing. He's going to be playing you. So when you show those hands, as soon as he sees those hands, you see it right here, as soon as he sees those hands go up, what is he doing? He's going to play those hands. Now, Lockett got a little lucky because that ball just fell right into his chest pretty much. But if he would have kind of just stayed here, kept running, not really shown his hands early, high-pointed it, and maybe gone up and grabbed it, could have been a little bit better. But the hands still were relatively late. And when it's late, DB doesn't have time. But you see in this, when he shows those hands, as soon as he sees those hands go, he's playing those hands. So fellas, over the shoulder, over the middle, hands have to be late, and you have to trust those eyes. So now, another way to work on this. You're running routes versus air with your quarterback. Maybe there's no coaches around. Maybe you're going routes versus air at practice. Maybe there are coaches around. When he throws that ball over the shoulder and you're running that fade route, you're running that deep corner route, deep post, be late with those hands. I think that's something that, I've noticed specifically just from my time coaching, that you look at a lot of high-level wide receivers, because I've trained guys from 8 years old all the way up to guys who are playing at USC, Power 5, right? And those guys who are elite, those guys that have a ton of talent, those guys that are very hard workers, those guys that are very, very good wide receivers, they're always late with the hands. Always. It's a fact. I don't know. It's something either maybe they're emphasizing or it's just something naturally that they do. So you have to know that over the shoulder catches, that DB will play your hands. Make sure we're late with those hands. Play this thing again, full speed one more time. Again, as soon as your hands go, his hands are going to go. We want to give him as little time as possible to react to that catch. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. It's always great to hear from you guys. We always appreciate it, fellas. And if you guys would like to come get some work in with us, check out that very first link in the description below. We're traveling out to 4 more states across the country this year. So again, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Salt Lake, and Los Angeles. Very first link below, fellas. I'll see you guys next time.